Ladies and gents, it's your girl Samantha here, and I wanted to talk about a story coming out of Baltimore. It was published by CBS Baltimore on November 16, 2021, and the story was especially sad. So I just wanted to just dig more into the story and discuss the violence that's happening in our communities. So this story is titled "She Was a Beautiful Person." Friends, neighbors remember a 69-year-old woman killed inside Southern Baptist Church. And you guys, this violence stuff it really does have to stop. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's too much. It's really just becoming it's too much. I'm hearing more and more about people actually being murdered in broad daylight. And I just don't understand it. I cannot come up with an excuse for this because we're all hurting. We're all trying to find a way to get by as African Americans / ADOS peoples, which is why it's so important we get reparations. These killings is just not the answer. I just don't understand what you get from killing a 69-year-old woman who's in a church. So let me get started with the story. So it says a woman was found fatally stabbed inside the prominent Southern Baptist Church in East Baltimore, and friends are left shaken as police hunt for the killer. I was really shocked, said one friend. Friends say 69-year-old Evelyn Player was found dead inside Tuesday morning. She was a beautiful person, said one friend. Baltimore City Police say around 6 a.m., she opened the church doors for contractors who were there to do renovations. Then less than an hour later, she was found by another employee. Police say she was stabbed to death in the bathroom. Why? What can possibly be the reason for this violence, this senseless death? Why? Oh my gosh. So this is devastating to know something like this could happen to just a lovely person. It's just devastating, said one friend who asked to remain anonymous. And people are just forgetting. I mean, not only is it insane that this is happening to a 69-year-old woman, which seemed like it's during the day, but it's happened in a church. I mean, have we fallen that far as a people that we just don't even respect churches? We don't respect the elders. It's becoming it's just feeling like it's hopeless now to just believe in anything when it comes to the Black community. Just the struggle of trying to do right by our community and trying to fight for our community, and then you hear about things like this, and it's just it really is just, there's really no other words. It's just devastating. Why? So friends tell WJZ Player was a dedicated member of the church and longtime employee. She volunteered her time every day and was loved by the community. So I think that's her name, WJZ Player. Hold on a second. Okay, her name is Evelyn Player. I was like, what? So friends tell WJZ that Player, okay, because these articles are very hard to read. The editing is subpar at best, so just bear with me, guys. So friends are telling WJZ that Evelyn Player was a dedicated member of the church and a long-time employee. She volunteered her time every day and was loved by the community. She's always in the building, and when she comes in the building, she always greets me with a hug and a smile and says, "Where you been?" And we just laugh and talk, said one friend who asked to remain anonymous. So it seems like everyone who's remaining anonymous, they're living in fear as well, just for doing an interview. So neighbors watch in horror as investigators comb through evidence. A murder in a church? Why? That is supposed to be a safe space. Why? Said neighbor Lillies Lynch. And so I want to speak to that. I feel like the black community is definitely walking away from the church and Christianity because that's just like one more thing that's been like a disappointment to us, you know, decade after decade after decade. Just not doing enough to invest in the black community, and they, usually these churches, they receive so much money, and it's like their hands are tied because they're receiving a lot of funds from the government, so they're not usually working in the best interest of the community. So there's so many things wrapped up in the Christianity stuff and just all the religions that we tend to follow, like Islamic faith, and then you have the Judaism, if you're consider yourself Jewish. So these are hard times right now. There's really no way to explain it, but I feel like because people are walking away from the church, they don't believe in really anything anymore. People just seem like it's the wild, wild west. It's just lots of lawlessness and just a lack of concern. So Mayor Brandon Scott called for the suspect to come forward. This is not okay. None of us should be okay. Her family is 4 generations strong and Southern, and all of our hearts should be with them, he said. Solving this unthinkable cowardly act is now priority number 1 for the Baltimore Police Department. With more questions than answers, neighbors are left scared for the community. That's sad it happened, said neighbor George Polk Jr. My heart dropped and it scared me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it happened in this neighborhood, said neighbor Betty Oxner. So my let me see really quick. My ex-fiance, my younger children's father, he is from Baltimore. So East Baltimore is actually supposed to be the quote-unquote better side of the city. So it's just a lot of shocking elements to this story. I mean, first you have an elderly black woman. Secondly, she's in a church where I'm sure everyone knew her and loved her. Thirdly, she's, to my knowledge, stabbed in the middle of the day. It's just so many weird elements that just aren't heard of in the black community. Like, this is just so unheard of. It's so rare. It's so weird and rare. Like, all these, I guess you would call it, like, all these elements combined. It's just, you just have to know why. Like, why? So I'll definitely be following this story because I need to know. But police say they don't have a suspect as of Tuesday night. They said they're speaking with community members and checking out surveillance video and asking anyone with information to come forward. And then I'm going to jump to the top. Or actually, no, hold on a second. So there was some good news. Here we go. Let me get there. Okay, so Governor Hogan, the governor of Maryland, is offering a $100,000 reward for information on murder of a 69-year-old woman in Baltimore church. And this was published 6 hours ago. NottinghamMaryland.com. So the governor, Larry Hogan, on Wednesday issued the following statement on the murder of a 69-year-old grandmother in Baltimore. Oh, it's just so freaking sad. It really is. So they said the murder of a 69-year-old grandmother inside a church in East Baltimore has shaken city residents and community leaders to the core. It follows a string of senseless violence that includes a barbershop killing and the assault of a priest in broad daylight in Little Italy just last week. People are hurting. They're scared and they're searching for answers. They want to know why this bloodshed keeps happening and what's it going to take for something to change. This heartbreaking violence is tearing the city apart. Enough is enough. We need immediate action. Today, I directed the Maryland State Police and all state law enforcement agencies to immediately assist the Baltimore Police Department with this investigation and to provide enhanced visibility patrols and an all-hands-on-deck effort. The state of Maryland is also offering an additional $100,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever is responsible for the murder of Evelyn Blair. We are calling on the city to use any resources at its disposal to match this reward. As we work to bring swift justice, Evelyn's family and loved ones are in our prayers. And so this is what I mean. This was a Republican governor, and he has just been wonderful for our people. Of course, I feel like Governor Northam did a lot of great stuff too. So, yeah, I'm definitely a huge advocate for swinging our vote and just letting people know, like, we are capable of voting in a larger block for Republicans. So, Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harris said the victim went into Southern Baptist Church located in the 1700 block of North Chester Street in Baltimore, and unlocked the door at around 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning to perform her usual duties and to allow contractors inside to continue renovations. Just after 6:45 a.m., a maintenance worker found her body, Evelyn Blair's body, in a church bathroom. Oh, jeez Louise. It's just, ugh. And it doesn't have enough, doesn't really have a whole lot of, details after that, so... Just reading the comments, see if anyone knows anything. Alright, so no one's really talking about knowing any insider information. So much for my online amateur sleuthing. So you guys, let me know what you think about this really, really sad story. It was such a senseless death. It's just sad. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.